This tutorial is about the articulation features of Galaxy pianos: repedaling, half pedaling, sostenuto, una corda, and silent key. As you'll see, most of these articulations have to do with one of the three pedals. The right pedal is called the sustain or damper pedal. It lifts all the dampers when pressed. The middle one is called the sostenuto pedal. It keeps the dampers of those keys lifted, which you are already holding with your fingers when the pedal is pressed. And finally, the left, or una corda pedal, shifts the whole keyboard to the right, leading to a softer sound. So the left pedal is also called the soft pedal. You can find the articulations in the anatomy menu. Let's start with half pedaling. Now, pedaling in classical music, and especially half pedaling, is an art of its own. Chopin used a lot of half pedaling in his music, and in fact, his students were even known to lie on the floor and watch his foot move so they could understand better the art of pedaling. Beethoven also intended the use of half pedal in many of his sonatas. Now, what is the difference between half pedaling and ordinary pedaling? A damper pedal on a real piano works continuously. The further down you press the pedal, the more it lifts the dampers from the string. And the more the dampers leave the string free to vibrate, the more sustain and resonance you can achieve. So you can control all these parameters with the exact position of the damper pedal. Now, most electronic sustain pedals are just a switch, either on or off. So when you slowly press them down, they just reach a point where they suddenly turn on. But with Galaxy pianos, this is different. If you're using a continuous sustain pedal, we have the capability now of using half pedaling. So let's switch the half pedaling function on. So now I'm going to play a series of short notes and slowly press the sustain pedal down. So as you can hear, as I push the pedal down, we get more and more resonance and longer sustain. Now this works the other way around as well. I'll push the pedal all the way down and slowly lift it up. So Galaxy Pianos offers true half pedaling. So let's hear all this with a little bit of music. So let's talk about repedaling. Repedaling is always in conjunction with release time. We covered release time in the noises tutorial. So the release time is the time that the note needs to die off after you strike it. If I strike a note, it takes a little while to die off because there's so much energy in the strings that the damper can't stop it right away. Now, if I press the pedal during this dying off time, then we get repedaling. First, let me play it for you a few times, this note. I'll play it very short without pedal. Now, with pedal, I'm already pressing the pedal. Then we get full sustain. Now I'm going to press the pedal during the dying off time. Then it holds only what's remaining of the note. Now the bass notes have a much longer release phase than do the middle range or the upper ranges. So when you're using repedaling, you'll notice the effect much more in the bass range. Now let's talk about the middle pedal. This is also known as the sostenuto pedal. It works similarly to the sustain pedal in that it lifts the dampers from the strings, but it only lifts those dampers of the keys which you're currently pressing. So I'm going to press down 3 notes silently and then press the middle pedal. So only those 3 notes are sounding. This works very well for lots of pieces. For Debussy, let's try it here. I'm going to press down 2 notes and then the middle pedal. Now that will be sustained and the others won't be. So as you see, it's a very useful pedal. Now let's talk about silent key. First, let's activate silent key. Now on a normal keyboard, when you press the keys very slowly, it'll send out a MIDI signal of 1, and then you'll hear a very quiet sound. But here, it's truly silent. But what it does is it lifts the virtual dampers, allowing the strings to vibrate freely. So if I play the other notes, it will actually cause these strings to vibrate through sympathetic resonance. That's the silent key function. Now let's talk about the una corda function. We need to activate this as well. Now I'm going to describe to you how it works. When you press the soft pedal, all the keys shift slightly to the right so that in the upper bass register, the hammers strike only one of the 2 strings. And in the treble, the hammers strike only 2 of the 3 strings. And because fewer strings are being struck by each key, this leads to a very different sound. And in addition, the hammers, which are shifted to the right, are using the less used part of the hammer, which also changes the sound. Now, this is the reason we've actually made samples of all the una corda instead of just using filtering or modeling. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what this sounds like. I'll play a little bit of Chopin without the una corda. Now, with the left pedal, so we have una corda. So you see it sounds quite different. So that'll be it for our articulations tutorial. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye-bye.